Assassin's Creed, the movie. Is it any good? Let's find out. Hi guys, and welcome to Gitty Reviews. So, I don't know how many times I repeated in different videos, on different occasions, that Assassin's Creed is my second favorite game franchise. I'm talking about the main games, the AAA games. So I've played every one of them. So you can say that I'm very familiar with Assassin's Creed, to say the least. And so I heard all the negative reviews about this movie, and I went into this movie expecting it to like it because, sometimes when people say that some movie sucks, I have my own opinion. So naturally, I know that many occasions, like, people say that some movie sucks, and for me they didn't suck. But here now I have to say, as a fan of the game and someone that knows what she's talking about, this movie is terrible. It's terrible, guys, on so many levels. I mean, I'm trying to hold my breath and not explode in a angry rant or something, but probably if I get there, I apologize. Oh, that's better. Okay, so what the heck is the problem where I have no idea where to start? I don't know how many of you are familiar with the games. Each game, there's a new assassin, a new story to him. Each and every one of those assassins are somehow connected, to their lineage and history and all of that. So, this movie first had nothing to do with the games in that regard, because we had totally new assassin and totally new story, and they changed a lot of things, and they didn't change them in a good way. So first, I didn't have anything against the new assassin, because that is how the games are. First games, we start with Altair and Desmond. That was the present version of the assassins right now. Then we had Ezio, which again was acted through Desmond, you can say. And then we didn't have Desmond anymore. And those things with the animals in Abstergo were mostly limited, but they were the most annoying part of the games. It's always like that. And the most exciting part of the games is being in those old times and playing as this character, the assassin. You don't want to be in the present time walking around a modern building and kicking some guards' asses. It's really annoying, and it's not what is good about those games. I mean, it's an important part of the story, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is those old worlds. And here the problem was that we spent so less time in those ancient world. We had no explanation about Spanish Inquisition. We had no backstory on the villains really, except that the Templars were this and that. I mean, there was nothing else to them as a character. One evil guy that was kind of like a pope. He was just an evil pope, and that was that. There was nothing to him. It's like we are supposed to be filling in the blanks here. And the main guy also, Aguilar. We knew nothing about him except that he was an assassin, and he chanted, some assassin mantras or something, along with his girlfriend that also was dedicated to the cause. I mean, we didn't have his personality, barely had anything, from him as words and as spoken speech, except some chants again. The other time he was just, looking badass and fighting, which was very good. But nothing, I mean, that wasn't the focus. That was like flashbacks, and he was pulled so violently out of there. And the animals, I just don't know where to start, where to begin, where to end this review, honestly. There's so many things that are wrong with this movie, and I don't want to get into spoiler territory yet, so I'm trying to explain as much as possible without spoiling anything. Not that there's so much to be spoiled, because the movie is extremely stupid. Stupid is the word. It is just and I'm going to explain why it's stupid. Okay, so without going into spoilers, the animus you know, and in the trailers it looked cool when I first saw it. You know, at first glance it looked like, oh, this is cool, but actually it's terrible because it couldn't possibly work. I mean, what he will do, because they were kept switching between the ancient times, the Spanish Inquisition, and how this looked when he did it in the animas in present times, and but they never did show how he looked. You know, first that was extremely annoying to get you out of the scene like that. You know, one time you are on a horse, you're looking, I mean, you're not on the horse, but I mean, you're watching Aguilar, you know, on a horse trying to catch some other guys, also on horses and such, and you never see how he's doing that, you know, with the animals, because the other times they always are showing him how he's jumping up and down and stuff, but they never show him when he's rolling on the ground back and forth. That thing is, you know, holding him on his waist. He won't be able to roll it at all, and he did that many times when he was in the Spanish Inquisition. And again, the riding of the horse, there were so many other movements. It was just ridiculous, and they also did not explain why he's getting hurt exactly from the animus. That was never the case in the game. I mean, I'm not one of those people that want the movie that represents, you know, that tries to portray a game to be exactly the same. I just want the movie to make sense, and if they have to improve upon the ideas of the game, okay. But here they totally messed everything up. I mean, the games were never this amazing example of a story or anything. It's a great story as a whole, as an idea, whole idea that you're going to the past, that the assassins have a lineage, that they have particular abilities that only they have. That's so awesome. It's like, you know, the universe made those people to protect the future, the past, and the present or something. I mean, there's a lot that could be done in this story, in this universe, you know, of Assassin's Creed, and nothing was done correctly here. So first they messed up completely the animus. I mean, they should have just left him like lay on the bed, close his eyes, and, you know, just his consciousness to be there in that time. But no, they didn't even explain how that exactly worked. I mean, they said that it was through the DNA, and yes, okay, yes, it's through the DNA, but is this actually affecting the past? Is this like time travel, or is just like a vision so they can find the apple of Eden and so on? And I have to talk about the apple more, but that's going to be in the spoiler part of the review, so I'm going to warn you when I get to that. So in the games it was always implied that you almost kind of have some kind of an impact on the past. It was kind of implied. Here just for the viewing, like, let's follow Aguilar because he was the last person with the apple and such things. And okay, I mean, I don't really care about that, but what I do care about is the way that it was explained, presented with that stupid hand, the way that they pulled us out of the action by having us watch what he's doing in real life, which again, most of what he did in the Spanish Inquisition will be not possible when he has this thing strapped on his waist. And besides, he doesn't need to do that in real life. The whole point of this regression is to, you know, travel there with his mind so he can use the body of his ancestor to do all those things. So he already has a body there to perform all those things that he does. He doesn't need his real physical body here to do the same at the same time. Just doesn't make any sense. Also, a regression is usually used for hypnosis to someone so they can try to see who they were in their past lives, but here is not implied whether or not this is his past life, or it's just, I mean, it was mostly implied that it was just his ancestor and they just, you know, share DNA, but that doesn't mean that this is his past life, that it's the same person, although they did look the same, but that was never also addressed why they look the same. And we never really get to know this guy Cal, Kalen Lynch or whatever he was. Let me just check his name. Oh yeah, Cal Lynch. Yeah, whatever. He was this criminal. He's sentenced to die probably. Then how was he revived? Damn it! How? We never. I mean, the only character that I got close to, and that kind of tried to understand, to try to better idea of who they were. That was Marion Cotillard, Sophia character. And at the end of the movie, something happened that she did, and I was totally disconnected from her from this moment on. It was completely strange to me what happened, but again, I'm going to get that into the spoiler part. So guys, basically convoluted presentation of the story, messed up representation of how the apple is, how they even find the apple, and then I'm going to talk about that in the spoiler review. The story of this guy Cal Lynch, we never really get to know him. He was I don't care kind of a guy, but you never know how he is, what his character is, what he's capable of as a person. I mean, you know that he killed a guy, but basically that's it. And it was very strange. You never get to know him at all, especially his assassin Aguilar. We never had one thing about him that we knew. We never got any explanation about that ego that was flying around all the time. We never got explanation about that leap of faith thing and how they are able to survive. And the Templars were odd, and the father of Sophia was a strange ass. Don't get me started on the parents of Cal and what happened to them and all of that. The one thing that it really bothered me, it was really annoying that all the characters were watching the camera so seriously. No connection there, no connection because we don't know who those people are really. We don't know anything about them. It's going, let's say, in a particular firm, to work there, and you're meeting the boss of the firm, and you're walking around with her, talking a bit, this and that. She wants you to do this and that, and you're okay. And 1 week passes, 2 weeks passes, and you get that she's the boss, and you get that what she wants. But who she is in real life, who she is as a person, what has driven her to be like that. They showed Cal as a kid. He was just that, a kid. We never get any character to him, anything how he was as a kid, except that he knew some cool parkour stuff, and when he tried some stuff with the bike. So we got a bit of an idea that he was daring or something, a bit, but that was just 5 seconds, and then after that we saw some other stuff that happened to him, which were also stupid. So anyway, guys, the point is, it was convoluted. We spent 30%, maybe around 30%, 35% at the very best in the Spanish Inquisition. We didn't get anything personally about the villains, who they were exactly, what exactly they did before, especially that Pope guy. I'm talking about him, some other king and stuff. We only get that they're bad guys. Perfect example of one-dimensional characters, even not one, 0.1 dimensional characters. I don't know how else to explain it. Nothing to connect with, nothing to be joyful about, except the fighting scenes. But they were kind of messy filmed at some point, so I'm not sure. And pretty much nothing made sense. So as a video game movie, I give it 3, because no matter how great some scenes looked, how some shots were shot, no matter how, those are the good things, and the editing was kind of not that good, but overall, that were some really good shots. How the eagle, flew, and that eagle was shown so many times, and you still had no idea why he was shown. And some other assassin said to, Aguilar, let the eagle something be with you, and nobody knows what the heck that is, do they have some kind of a power towards that, or the ego, the ego gives him powers? What the heck? Nothing is explained here, nothing. So it's a 3. I loved Warcraft. It was very good movie. I mean, it was a perfect movie. Some things weren't that awesome, but I can still watch that again and enjoy it and just like it, although I never played Warcraft. Actually, no, correct me, I have to correct myself on that. I did play the last version of the game that you can now download for free and play till level 30. I did play that. I didn't really like it, didn't get into that. I much more prefer Elder Scrolls Online, ESO. You know, the huge world, the graphics is much better in a third person, fighting, navigating with the mouse, everything is much better, so I do prefer that game a lot more. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the movie was a lot better than this. For me, you know, Warcraft is the best game-based movie, and Assassin's Creed is definitely one of the worst. It deserves a hilariosity review by Chris Tuckman. Yeah, hopefully he does that someday. So that is for the non-spoiler part. So from this moment on, guys, spoiler alert. So I'm talking now with spoilers. You get it? I'm starting. Everyone else that haven't seen the movie and watched this far, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Until next time with GetItG Reviews. Now let's get into the spoilers. So first, guys, when they show him as a kid, he went and saw his mother murdered, and it turns out that it's his father. And then they explain later on in the movie that he had to kill her for the sake of the cause or something. I didn't quite get that. Either I forgot about it, why that was, or they didn't really explain it well. I can't really say. But it was very stupid that, you know, his father couldn't just kill her somehow without his son walking on them, you know. That was extremely bad for the kid, and it messed his head. Second, nobody bothered to explain to him where he came from as, you know, lineage of assassins or something like that. You know, his father just stood like in some kind of a 90s, 80s, or I don't know, movie cliche with the hood and everything, like, you know, not upsetting over that he just killed his wife that he apparently loved very much. He was just like, you know, talking cryptic to his son, which was so stupid. You're talking to a kid. He's just a kid right now. I mean, if this movie had to make some kind of a sense, they first had to, I mean, if she really has to die, she could have, you know, killed herself somewhere that, you know, he wouldn't know. His father would try to protect him and care for him from that moment on. Although I really don't get why she had to die. I mean, honestly, if you know why she had to die, please explain it to me, really. His father and his mother, or at least his father, one of them, is directly from that line of this guy Aguilar. So therefore they could have used his father for anything. So why didn't he kill himself? I mean, damn it, it's so messed up. And then he said to his son, like, run. And okay, run, why didn't you run with him? Because we knew that they captured him, you know, his father. They did all kind of experiments with him, with the animus again, to search for the apple and such things. I mean, if you knew that they were coming for them, just like hide, go somewhere. No, his son is out there playing with his bike, clueless to what the heck is happening. He left his mother like dead, dripping blood. That is extremely stupid. Not only that you're going to destroy his mind, and he got that violence in him, and he went through that traumatic experience, which, by the way, he didn't actually react to that. He was just like, huh, Mom. He didn't act scared, like he went through a dramatic event. Okay, he was in shock, but I mean, his reaction was still not appropriate. But anyways, maybe they didn't want to put, maybe, you know, too much of a drama in the movie. I don't know. When they found out through Aguilar where is the apple, you know, in Christopher Columbus' grave. Just wait a second here. I mean, when they did that. So first of all, if they really searched for the apple, I mean, you know, Sophia searched for the apple. The first thing that you should do, logically, when you search for an artifact like that, it's like go through every archaeological find Like, go through all the records, all the information. Is there something that resembles a small ball, like the size of an apple, that it was metallic or something? Is there such object? I mean, nobody said anything about this. I mean, everything that is ever found that we know of, everything in his grave should have been documented, and they should have known that there was a box with something very strange covered with sand or something, and they should have documented that. So you know, Sophia and her all the Templar power and reach that she's supposed to be having should be able to found, you know, that artifact, no problem. No need of the animals, no need of you know, cow, no need of anything like that. So that, first of all, doesn't make any sense. And the next thing maybe to touch upon is when, you know, the animals broke, that hand broke, all those assassins start appearing. We were looking at, you know, Cow's expression. He was like he was so like inspired. He was shocked. He was amazed. Like he just found the meaning of his life or something, which is okay. But where was that? I mean, he switched so fast between not caring what happens at all to super caring, and then seeing all those assassins and his mom. And actually one of the assassins looked, I think, very similar to Sophia, if that was even her. I didn't get exactly. I mean, I have to watch the game, but I really don't want to. Definitely not giving money for that movie again. But like some of the female assassins there looked like Sophia, and she was like you know, shocked, and there was some kind of a, you know, implications of some sort that she was maybe assassin in a past life. She wasn't always with the Templars, or maybe she was, you know, both ways in some way. You have no idea. And all those, you know, spirits or whatever there was, manifestations, came out. That was never freaking explained what the heck happened, because that wasn't from the animals, and they confirmed that. But they looked exactly like they came out of the animals, like holograms. So what the hell was that? I mean, it's obvious that they're, you know, they're spirits, and that they are some kind together in the afterlife, and they're still the Order of Assassins, and they're trying to keep an eye on the assassins and help them from the afterlife. I get no idea, but who the hell need to explain such things? They went to assassinate Sophia's father. Everyone dressed as assassins, like in modern times, with black clothes and you know, hoods, and where the heck they got those clothes? Oh, and how Ka was able to break the glass, you know, from the roof of the helicopter. If that glass could be broken so easily, like with his fist, like boom, then how is even this glass holding a whole helicopter? Oh, that's I don't know, movie logic, I don't know. And then when they went to, you know, take the apple, they went through the security. I don't know how they did that. Did they took some kind of a passes from Extergo? I don't know. Yeah, please let me know how they just went through security. Some guys with hoods. Like, they're not Templars. How they're going to trick everybody to let them in? This is not a public event. This is strictly, obviously, Templar government. So how the heck they went just past that, and then there was nobody there to protect? I mean, they showed the security was very close to Sophia when, you know, Cal went to talk to her, and she said, all I have to do is shout. And then they speaked as if he was implying, you know, I'm going to kill your father now, you know what is going to happen now. And she just stood there. She was just like so shocked. She didn't know what to say. She was just like a scary bird, like what the heck she was doing. And then her father was killed. She went to him and she's like, you know, standing over his body. He wanted to get all the credit for, you know, finding the apple. He wanted to do that, and I mean, he did that, get the credit. He was trying to give his own orders to the staff. disregarding hers. So he was disrespectful to her and her accomplishments all the time, although he did admit that she was smarter than him, but he didn't care. He just, still took all the credit for that. And although she stood there, when Cal talked to her like a moose, like 5 seconds later, after she did nothing to stop, the assassination, she didn't shout, she didn't call security or anything. She was like staying over her dad's body, and she's like making this serious face, like, where was that? I mean, where were you till now? Why are you upset that your father died now? Did you do something? Like, you had, the opportunity to do something if you so loved your dad, although he disrespected you for the whole movie. Now, where is this coming from now? And then, of course, the assassins were standing on top of the high building in modern times with the apple. They fought with their own weapons. The guards didn't have any guns on them for some reason. It was so stupid and ridiculous. I mean, they're guarding a very high-level assassins here. I mean, they're guarding people that are very skilled in combat. You're standing there trying to hand-to-hand combat them instead of just straight out shooting them with the gun. All the modern technology in the world that there's no gun in sight. Like, what the heck? And so on, guys. So this movie pretty much makes no sense. Like, nothing. They should have just followed the games. If they could have just, stick how the Aramis was in the games, it made much more sense. They should have just, shown the Altair story or Ezio's story with Desmond and make, the present time scenes as little as physically possible. Explain who is that main character, the assassin, explain who's the other assassin in that era. Something to connect to the characters, nothing like that was done here. So that is, guys, I'm sorry for the super long video about Assassin's Creed, but it had to be talked about, had to be said. This is something that I really wanted to be successful so we can get a part 2. Unfortunately, probably will not get anything. Movies based on video games continue to be accepted as not very good or even extremely bad, like this one. But again, I really love Warcraft, and I really wish that we get at least a sequel on that. And from that moment on, if they want to make another game, like of course they want to make Uncharted, Naughty Dog are the most amazing people if they just left them to write a script or something and to supervise this whole thing. That may be the first ever movie based on a video game that is truly amazing. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed now for Uncharted, guys, and maybe the future Lara Croft movies. So thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you like the movie, I have no problem with that. Please let me know why you like the movie, and we can have a healthy discussion on this. Hateful comments and insults and such things I'm not going to tolerate. So please be respectful in the comments. We can discuss our likes and dislikes in a respectful manner, and that's the only way to have a healthy conversation. If you start with the insults, I'm not having that. Thank you, till next time with Gary J Reviews.